Hi, welcome to Count of the Nine Estates. This game is an 18-card game made up of 9 structure cards and 9 estate cards. To set up the game, lay up the estate cards in a 3x3 grid with peasant cards, clergy cards, and nobility cards randomly laid out. These estate cards will provide victory points at the end of the game if you build them. 2 things to remember about the estate cards is when you build one, the remainder of the cards in that row and column will disappear from the game. And 2, some of them offer one-time bonuses. So the monument and town square will offer a gold resource, and a monastery and city walls, these are the lower victory point cards, will offer a work crew one-time bonus. The goal of the game is to work through the structure deck to build buildings to enable you to build estates to gain the most victory points. To start the game, make sure all the cards are the square corners face up. Shuffle these cards. And then you can decide which way to start. The active resource will be on the top of the card. Work crews are fairly important, so I'm going to start with that work crew at the top. The game is played in 2 eras. Each era is a series of rounds. A round is one playthrough of the deck. So to start, we're going to have the deck, a center card, and a discard, which is a flipped card. Start by sliding one card over. Right now we can look at these 2 resources, and they're both work crews. We can't build anything with those cards. This school requires a work crew in lumber, tavern requires a work crew in either food or lumber, and so on. So the requirements for each structure are there. So we can't build anything with these cards, so we'll discard this card by flipping it. We'll slide this one over. Now I've got a tavern that requires a work crew and lumber, and I've got lumber and work crew. So I'm going to go ahead and use these 2 resources to build this tavern. To build, simply remove that card from the deck and place it face up. So now I've got a tavern. I use that lumber and this work crew, so because this is used, it gets flipped over. Start of my next turn, I always want to have the deck and a center card, and most of the time I'll also have a discard pile. So now the available resources I have are a work crew, lumber, and I also have another work crew there. And typically what you want to do is you want to kind of plan your strategy here, decide which estate cards you want to build, but I'm just kind of going through a quick playthrough here, so I'm kind of playing a little haphazardly. Let's see, I can build a sawmill which provides more lumber. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'll take the work crew and the lumber to build this sawmill. Just slide it underneath there. Because I use that work crew, it gets flipped. I now have a goldsmith there. I know the goldsmith is useful for building both a castle and a large castle, so I may want to do that. School, farm, quarry. Oh, I don't have gold, so I can't build the goldsmith. I can build the school, which is required for the monument. Let's go ahead and do that just to kind of demonstrate the game. So I'm going to use lumber, and I'm going to use this work crew that's on the tavern to signify that. Just going to tilt that card a little bit. So now I've got a tavern, a sawmill, and a school all built. Slide this over. There's a quarry. I'd really like to build it. It's got stone, but I need a work crew, and right now I don't have any work crews visible. There's one. So I've got a work crew and stone. I can build the quarry, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'll tilt that card to signify I use that work crew. I can't use that because it's already used. So this round is done. So that was one round. I happened to build 4 cards. At the end of the round, you reset any used resources. Take the card, flip it over. Now it's on the rounded corner side. Flip it over, shuffle these again. And at the beginning of each round, you can either flip to the other side, or you can, as you're playing through, you can rotate one card 180 degrees. So I think we're okay. Well, let's go ahead just to kind of demonstrate. So I'm going to rotate. Now I'm going to start round 2. So I've got a tavern and wood available again. City walls requires a quarry and a blacksmith. I've got the quarry, so I'm going to try to build a blacksmith this time through, and let's see how that goes. So slide it over, goldsmith, sawmill, quarry, farm, don't really want or need any of those. Flip that. There's a blacksmith. It requires an ore and a work crew, so I'm going to go ahead and build that right away. So I've got the ore, I've got the work crew. So blacksmith, and because it's the second round, I'm going to build that in the second column. These cards are still, oh, and I use that work crew. These cards are active, but I can't build anything because I don't have a crew. I've got all three crews on the bottom, so the next round I'm going to rotate the whole deck. Because right now I cannot build anything. So there's a work crew. I've got a blacksmith. I've got the quarry. I'm going to go ahead and build the city walls. So this requires a work crew, which is there, the quarry, and the blacksmith. So I'm going to build this card. And like I said, because I built that one, these estate cards exit the game. That is the end of round 2. Reset any cards I used. Now this city walls provides a work crew, but only once per the entire game, not per round. As I said, I'm going to rotate. I can do that. I'll rotate the whole deck of cards. Now what I've got left is a monastery, which requires a work crew and 2 churches, a monument, which requires a school, and a stonemason, so I could go for that one and then try to build a castle later. So let's see if we can build a stonemason. Nothing there I want to build, so I'm going to discard that card. There's a stonemason. Let's go ahead and use the tavern's crew plus the quarry are the requirements for the stonemason. So I'm going to build that in the third round. Don't need that card. Slide this one over. Now the monument takes a work crew, a school, and a stonemason. I've got the school, the stonemason. I can use this work crew. I'm going to build the monument now. I get rid of these 2 cards, the row and the column. So that leaves the remainder of this era, which is what we're playing through right now, and then the second era to build the castle. So what I'm going to do is end that round. End game scoring, each round you play is worth -2 points. So let's go through the end of the era scoring. You get 1 point for each structure you build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get an extra point for any duplicate structures. I don't have that. And then you get points for any victory points on any of the structure cards. And then the 3 plus 4. So 7 victory points for my estates. 6 structures is 13. -6 because I played 3 rounds. So the score for my first era is 7. For the second era, that card's the work crew has been used already, so I can't use that. The monument provides a gold that may be helpful. To start the next era, which is just kind of the second half of the game, just like the first, make sure all the cards are the square corners. Shuffle the deck. Rotate about half of them. And start again. Slide over the center. Work through these. So what I'm going to be doing, all I've got to start with is a gold resource. I'm going to need for this castle a work crew, an armory, a goldsmith, and a stonemason. I'll need to work through all of that. Hopefully I can get that 6 points. Maybe another 7, 8, 9, 10 points throughout the game. And then I'll add the first era score, which was 7, plus the second era score together for the final score of the game. Hope that all makes sense. If not, please let me know. Thanks for watching.